job than OKC has done at surrounding him with talent. We will be able to present him with another all-star caliber player in Jimmy Butler, who's already here. A player in Jimmy Butler who a lot of people thought Jimmy Butler and Paul George were nearly identical in like player rankings going into last season. Now, Paul George had a far better year than Jimmy Butler, and Paul George right now appears to be the better player than Jimmy Butler. We'll see next season with George coming off the 2 shoulder surgeries. But for Russ, it's really simple. It is, last year, it wasn't just his free throw shooting went to hell. He's always been a bad three-point shooter. Last year was his worst three-point shooting year he's had since he's been a star, and he's now in very rough company. He's the second worst high-volume three-point shooter in NBA history. Only Charles Barkley has taken 2,000-plus threes in the NBA with the worst percentage. Russ is now beneath guys like Jerry Stackhouse and Allen Iverson and guys that we thought of as chuckers from three. He's below 31% from his career from three, and he takes a bunch of them. Like last year, he was taking over 5 a game. We've seen him shoot 34% for a season. The year that he won the MVP, he was 85% from the line, over I think about 35% from three. If he's a guy that he has shown the ability to adjust the style in which he plays at least a little bit within a season. But last year didn't matter if he adjusted the style because he was bad shooting everywhere. The free throw line, the mid-range jump shot, which used to be his bread and butter, that little elbow jumper, that used to be his go-to shot. And his three-point shot was broken. If he's going to be successful, he has to be in year 12. This is going to be year 12 now. He has to be an adequate three-point shooter. There is no way for a guard in the NBA at his age moving forward to be a superstar in this league if you can't shoot the ball. And Russ last year could not shoot the ball, but he still shot the ball. So to me, there's the personality stuff. How will he fit in with a new team? Never been with a different organization. Spoelstra, Butler, all that stuff. But it really is, can Russell Westbrook shoot 34% from three? If he can still be a great player in this league. If he's at 28%, as he was a lot of last year, and he's still shooting a bunch of them, that's the percentage Draymond shot, but he's shooting twice as many. That's a huge problem for whatever team he'd be.
It's a lot to ask someone to say, okay, you got to go get back to your numbers that you were. So go to a new team, Isn't it more realistic that they're going to have to say, hey, you can't take this many shots? You're going to come here, but you're going to have to reduce the number of shots you take. And is he going to be able to make that adjustment?
No, I don't believe that's realistic. I don't believe there's a whole bunch of people going to tell Russ, you got to stop shooting the basketball. Last season, no one had the ball more than Russ. 90 times per game, he's got the ball. Only James Harden has the ball more amount of time. So for me, if you're not shooting it, he could be a better distributor of the basketball, cut down on his turnovers. He could be a better defender. So there's a lot of things that Miami and the switch there can be able to help them. Miami's one of the least effective teams in the pick and roll, even though they run about the same amount as OKC. Spoelstra and them have to be able to let him go and let him get his points early in the offense, get a pace that's a little bit faster. I believe Russ can still do that at a high level compared to the half-court offense. To me, that's one of the big conflicts that you have with Russ. He's far more effective in the open court than when they slow the ball down.
And he and the Oklahoma City Thunder, before the All-Star break, he was playing well. Paul George was playing well. We were talking about could they get all the way to the 2 seed in the West, and then fell apart once Paul George dealt with his shoulder injuries and Russ had a really bad stretch post-All-Star break. If he can get back to just stylistically the way he was pre-All-Star break and add a couple percentage points to his shot, still be one of the best 6 guards in basketball, but that's what they would be betting on if they trade for him in Miami.
All right, let's take a break there. Coming up, should the Lakers start LeBron at point guard? That's still ahead on First Things First.
Baseball Buzz. Thursday, July 11th. Meet the Brewers.
I like the beach, hanging out with friends, doing some traveling in the off season. I really like football, watching it, not playing it, obviously. I like the Patriots. I like Tom Brady.
Big fisherman. Love to fish in my downtime. My favorite place to travel, I try to go every off season, is to Jamaica.
Relax, it's just a bug.
That's not a bug! That's not a bug! Hit and drone. Seen it, covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. 2019 Cadillacs are made for summer and made to move. Get 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,000 on a 2019 Escalade when you finance through GM Financial. Or current eligible non-GM lessees get this low mileage lease on this 2019 Escalade from around $869 per